What if I told you that a single coin, something many of us might dismiss as just loose change, could be worth more than a luxury car? Imagine having in your hands a small piece of history, something you could have had in your pocket decades ago, and today it could change your financial future. We've all held on to spare change at some point, hoping one day it might turn into something valuable. But what if one coin, from a distant time, had more value than we ever imagined? Today, we're talking about a rare treasure that could be hiding in your collection or even tucked away in an old drawer. The 1988 South African 1-cent coin. Back in 1988, South Africa was at a crossroads, politically, socially, and economically. The country was transitioning through turbulent times. But amidst all of this, a simple coin was minted. A coin that would carry a piece of South Africa's history and, unbeknownst to most, become a highly sought-after item on the global numismatic market. The 1-cent coin from that year wasn't just another piece of currency. It became a rare symbol of its time. The design on the 1988 1-cent is simple yet powerful. Featuring the iconic protea, South Africa's national flower, and the year of minting, this coin was made with quality craftsmanship that was, at the time, both affordable and practical for everyday use. But now, decades later, it's something entirely different. It's not just a coin. It's a collector's dream. How do we know that this coin holds such extraordinary value? Well, for starters, the mintage of this 1988 coin was incredibly low. Due to a number of factors, economic changes, shifts in the country's coinage system, and global factors, this 1-cent piece didn't circulate much in the years following its release. Its scarcity has made it highly valuable today. Over the years, the 1988 South African 1-center has become a rare gem in the coin collecting world. At auctions, collectors have paid tens of thousands of dollars for specimens in pristine condition. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. We're not just talking about a small price increase. This coin's value has skyrocketed in recent years. And when I say skyrocketed, I mean it. The 1988 South African 1-cent coin, in perfect condition, has sold for upwards of $18,000 at auctions. Yes, you heard that right. $18,000 for a coin that was once worth just 1 cent. So, before you dismiss that old jar of coins sitting in your garage or attic, take a second look. You might just be holding onto an unexpected fortune. Let's take a closer look at what makes this coin so desirable. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that are rare, in mint condition, and feature distinctive features. The 1988 1-cent stands out for its high-quality minting and the symbolism of the protea. But it's not just about the design. It's about the scarcity, the story, and the historical value wrapped into that tiny piece of metal. When it comes to coin collecting, it's not just about owning a coin. It's about owning a piece of history. Coins like the 1988 South African 1-center are rare because of their limited production, and rarity drives value. This is the kind of coin you might find in the hands of a dedicated collector who knows exactly what to look for. So, where do you find one of these precious coins? They're often sold at coin auctions, through specialized dealers, or even hidden in private collections. If you're lucky enough to come across one, you might just be looking at a life-changing investment. Now, I know you're wondering, just how much can one of these coins be worth? Hold on to your seat because the price might surprise you. The highest recent sale for a 1988 South African 1-cent coin was an astonishing $18,000. That's right, $18,000. For a coin that most people would overlook, a single specimen in excellent condition can be worth more than a brand new car or even a small house in some areas. And with the rarity of these coins increasing over time, there's no telling how much they might be worth in the future. So, before you toss that change in your pocket or let that dusty coin collection sit forgotten on a shelf, think about the possibilities. You might just have a fortune hiding right under your nose. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing coin discoveries and insights. Who knows? Your next big find could be just around the corner. The world has changed dramatically over the decades. The 1960s marked an era of revolution, a decade of transformation, social change, and technological advancements. For those who lived through it, the 60s were a time of cultural upheaval, the rise of counterculture movements, and the dawn of space exploration. On a global scale, history was being written every day. Amidst these monumental shifts in the political and cultural landscape, the everyday objects we used, the coins in our pockets, the paper money in our wallets, remained a reflection of the times. Coins, in particular, hold a special place in the hearts of collectors and history enthusiasts alike. They represent the tangible currency of history, quite literally. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into one particular coin from the 1960s, the South African 20-cent piece minted in 1965. This coin, which might seem ordinary at first glance, holds a fascinating and unexpected history. While it may have once been part of the everyday life of South Africans, today, it is worth far more than its original face value, far more than what anyone would have imagined back in 1965. But what is it about this seemingly simple coin that makes it so valuable now? What's the story behind it? And why should collectors and enthusiasts be paying attention to this specific 20-cent piece? To understand the significance of this coin, we first need to step back in time and examine the historical context of South Africa in the mid-1960s. The year 1965 was one of great transition. Globally, the 1960s were marked by the space race, the civil rights movement, and growing social tensions in various parts of the world. But for South Africa, this was a time of both political and social upheaval as well as steady growth, especially in the world of currency. During this period, South Africa was still under the system of apartheid, a policy of racial segregation and discrimination enforced by the government. The country was under the rule of the National Party, which had come into power in 1948. However, in 1965, the broader South African landscape was starting to change, albeit slowly and in the midst of heavy global scrutiny. The Reserve Bank of South Africa, which had been established much earlier, continued to issue coins that symbolized the country's national identity. The 20-cent coin, introduced in 1965, was designed to represent more than just currency. It was a symbol of South Africa's culture and heritage. On the reverse side of the 1965 20-cent coin, you'll find the iconic depiction of a springbok, the national animal of South Africa. The springbok, a graceful and powerful antelope known for its speed and agility, has long been an emblem of South Africa. Its image is associated with both the country's natural beauty and its sporting achievements. For decades, the springbok has been a symbol of national pride. The coin captures this beautiful creature in mid-leap, as if frozen in time, a testament to the majestic wilds of the African landscape. It's no surprise that this particular design would later be appreciated not just for its symbolism, but also for its artistic quality. On the obverse side, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, the last monarch to appear on South African currency. South Africa was still a member of the British Commonwealth in the 1960s, and as such, the portrait of the British monarch appeared on many of the country's coins at the time. Queen Elizabeth's image on the 1965 coin represents the final years of the colonial influence over South Africa before it would eventually become a republic in 1961. Though the country had gained independence from Britain, the remnants of British influence, including the monarchy's presence on its currency, remained for some time. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1965 South African 20-cent coin so special. Coins are often produced in large quantities, but not all coins are created equal. Some are made in limited numbers, while others are more widely circulated. As you might expect, the scarcity of a coin plays a large role in determining its value. And this is where the 1965 20-cent coin stands apart. Although coins are typically minted in large batches, the 1965 South African 20-cent piece had a relatively small mintage compared to other years in the series. In fact, only a limited number of these coins were struck in 1965, and as a result, it is considered a rare find. The relatively small mintage, combined with the passage of time and the limited number of coins that have survived in good condition, has contributed to the rarity and value of this coin. But what exactly is it about rare coins that collectors find so fascinating? Why do people spend their time searching for these elusive treasures? The world of numismatics, the study and collection of coins, is filled with passion, history, and intrigue. Collectors and enthusiasts search high and low for coins with unique characteristics. Those with low mintage numbers, those that are part of limited edition series, or those that have an interesting backstory. Collecting coins is more than just about owning pieces of metal. It's about preserving history. When a collector holds a rare coin, they are not just looking at an object. They are looking at a snapshot of the past. Each coin has a story to tell the people who used it, the historical events that were happening when it was in circulation, the changes it witnessed as the world evolved. In the case of the 1965 South African 20-cent coin, the story extends beyond its design and minting process. It is a symbol of South Africa's transition from colonial influence to an emerging republic, a period marked by political and social challenges that would ultimately shape the nation's future. So why is this particular coin worth so much today? As with any rare item, the value of the 1965 South African 20-cent coin has risen over time due to a combination of rarity, demand, and historical significance. Today, it can fetch a staggering price of $9,500, an amount that far exceeds its original face value of just 20 cents. Collectors around the world are willing to pay such high prices because they understand the importance of the coin in the context of numismatics. For them, it's not just about having a piece of currency. It's about owning a piece of history. As the years pass, these coins become even rarer, and as demand for them increases, so does their value. Imagine for a moment holding a coin in your hand that is worth more than a brand new car, a dream vacation, or even an entire home. The idea that something so small and seemingly insignificant could hold such immense value is one of the reasons that coin collecting remains a thriving and exciting hobby. Coins are more than just currency. They are miniature time capsules, bearing the weight of history, culture, and identity. To a collector or an investor, each coin has its own tale to tell. In this expansive world of numismatics, there is one coin that stands out from the rest. The South African 5-cent coin of 1994 at first glance. A 5-cent coin may seem like an ordinary piece of currency, small in size and weight, a mere tool for daily transactions. However, delve deeper into its context, history, and the intricate details of its design, and you'll uncover a fascinating story, one that reveals the intricate interplay between South Africa's past, its people, and the way these elements have shaped the legacy of numismatic artifacts today. And this exploration will uncover the significance of the 1994 5-cent coin, what makes it an extraordinary object, why it has captivated collectors worldwide, and how it connects to one of the most pivotal moments in modern South African history. To truly understand the significance of the 1994 5-cent coin, we must first look at the political transformation that took place in South Africa during that year. 1994 was a monumental year in the country's history, marking the end of decades of apartheid, a brutal system of institutionalized racial segregation that had oppressed millions of South Africans. The year 1994 saw the election of Nelson Mandela, a man who had spent 27 years in prison for his role in the anti-apartheid movement. His election as South Africa's first black president symbolized not only a personal triumph but also the triumph of democracy, human rights, and social justice. This shift marked the dawn of a new South Africa, one that would strive to reconcile the wrongs of the past and build a more inclusive future. Coincidentally, 1994 was also the year the South African Mint produced the 5-cent coin that would go on to captivate the imaginations of collectors. This seemingly ordinary coin became an emblem of the country's transition, its design a symbol of the natural beauty, rich wildlife, and pride of the nation. The 1994 5-cent coin features a stunning depiction of the springbok antelope. A symbol of South African pride, the springbok is not only a representative of the nation's natural heritage but also its sporting prowess, particularly in rugby. The springbok had long been a symbol of the South African rugby team, and its inclusion on the coin is a nod to the country's sporting achievements, as well as the wildlife that is an integral part of its national identity. The springbok's graceful stance on the coin represents not only a powerful connection to the environment but also a national spirit that had endured through the trials of apartheid. The animal is often used as a metaphor for the agility, resilience, and strength of the people of South Africa. In 1994, it was more than just an animal. It was a symbol of hope, renewal, and unity, resonating deeply with the people who were embracing their new future. However, this coin isn't just about wildlife. Its design is a careful selection of elements that reflect the profound changes occurring within South Africa at the time. The year 1994 marked the end of the old South African regime, and the coin's creation in that pivotal moment made it a collector's item for those who recognized its historical value. Now, let's talk about what sets the 1994 5-cent coin apart from other coins: its rarity. It's true that many coins are produced in large quantities, making them less valuable over time. But in certain cases, a coin can become rare for several reasons. Some coins are minted in limited runs, while others may be produced with slight variations that make them stand out from the rest. The 1994 South African 5-cent coin was produced in limited numbers, making it a rare find among collectors. However, rarity alone doesn't guarantee a coin's value. The true value lies in the condition of the coin. Like all collectibles, the more pristine and well-preserved a coin is, the more valuable it becomes. Over the years, the 1994 5-cent coins slowly disappeared from circulation. People used them in daily transactions, where they were often worn down, damaged, or lost. As a result, finding one in excellent, near-mint condition is a rarity. Those that remain today, especially those in exceptional condition, are highly coveted by numismatists and investors alike. Coins are graded based on their condition, and this plays a significant role in determining their market value. The grading system for coins is complex, but it generally ranges from poor to perfect mint state, MS70, for example, being a perfect coin. A coin's value can also be influenced by the presence of certain errors or unique characteristics. These errors can happen during the minting process, and in the world of numismatics, such imperfections are often seen as desirable, since they make the coin even rarer. For instance, a coin with a misprinted mint mark or an error in the engraving of the design can increase its value exponentially. The 1994 5-cent coin, in particular, has attracted attention due to such errors. Some collectors are particularly drawn to coins with these subtle imperfections, which can fetch high prices if they are found in mint condition. It's not just about rarity. It's about finding the right combination of elements that make the coin one of a kind. Coin collecting is an art, a passion, and for some, an investment. The world of numismatics isn't just about acquiring coins. It's about understanding them, learning their history, and discovering their significance. Every coin tells a story, and the more you know about the coin you hold in your hand, the more appreciation you'll have for it. For collectors of South African coins, the 1994 5-cent coin has become a prized possession. It's a piece of history, a symbol of the country's transformation, and a reminder of the resilience of its people. The rarity, design, and historical context of this coin make it an exceptional treasure for those who have the knowledge to recognize its value. The thrill of finding a rare coin, whether in a collection or by chance, is part of what makes coin collecting so exciting. Some collectors spend years searching for particular pieces, while others might stumble upon a rare gem in their own homes, tucked away in an old drawer or hidden in a box of change. For those who are just starting their journey into numismatics, the 1994 5-cent coin is a perfect example of how history and value intersect. It reminds us that sometimes the most humble objects, like a small coin, can have a lasting impact, both in terms of cultural significance and financial value. It might seem unlikely that something as simple as a small coin could be worth anything significant. But the reality is that, in the world of numismatics, coins like the 1994 5-cent piece can be worth a lot more than their face value. A coin in excellent condition can fetch prices upwards of $1,500, depending on its rarity, condition, and whether it features any unique minting errors. The truth is, while most people toss their spare change into jars, old boxes, or even their wallets, there's always a chance that a hidden treasure might be waiting. You might not even realize the value of a coin you've overlooked for years, and it's only through careful inspection and knowledge that its true worth becomes apparent. This is why it's so important to take a closer look at your spare change or old coin collections. Whether you're an experienced collector or just someone curious about the potential value of your coins, it's always worth taking the time to inspect them closely. Could be the difference between holding onto a small, everyday coin and discovering a piece of history that could be worth far more than you ever imagined.